quitting my job has actually been on my radar for a while. I've been thinking about it for a year, and it was actually one of my New Year's resolutions for 2025. The last couple of months, I've been seeing a lot of signs. At first, I was just kind of thinking that maybe it's a sign for the future, like far away future, not like now. And I think I kind of brushed it off, but when I was filming this the week of me quitting my job, I actually didn't know I was going to quit my job. I was filming because I was actually doing this detox week. It was inspired by this passage from The Artist's Way, and it's basically all about kind of removing the junk for the soul that's kind of blocking you from seeing things clearly slash like your creative flow. So I decided to do no sugar, no alcohol, no added sugar by the way, and no scrolling. And honestly, that's what did it for me. That detox really brought up a lot of frustration that I had around work that I've had for like a year. It just got to a point where there was no turning back. So I'm gonna walk you through that whole week. I'm just eating this and sitting by the tree. So this is kind of like my lunch break situation. I'm just thinking a lot about how I really don't want to work. And that's been heavily on my mind for like the last couple months. Well, it's been on my mind for like a year, but especially the last couple months, I've been really thinking that, and there have been many different signs and messages from like all over, like whether that's through meeting people and like our conversations, and even the signs that I see on like while I'm walking and the environment. Yeah. After work, I remember I met up with a new creative friend, which by the way, this was like my third new creative friend that I met within that week or something, or like 2 weeks maybe. And they all told me that they recently quit their jobs like this past year or so. So that was like another huge sign that I've been seeing, like where I hear stories from other people. To dinner to meet up with my friends. It was really nice, but after feeling all the highs of being with my friends, I came home and I felt so down and emotional, and all these emotions were coming up. I was just ready to go to bed, but I don't know. I started crying. I'm also on my period, so that's probably why. But as I'm doing this cleanse, honestly, the biggest cleanse that's been happening has just been my emotions, and also I guess like clarity on what I want in life and stuff. It's been a lot of like battle in my mind actually. I'm honestly exhausted. I feel like my mood has been all over the place. Again, the period probably does not help at all, but my energy levels have been kind of low. It's probably sugar too. Okay, good night. On Wednesday, I remember waking up feeling very determined, and I didn't tell anyone that I was gonna do this. I've mentioned how I felt and talked about it with my friends, my parents, and everything, but I didn't tell them like when I was gonna do it or any of those details, because I didn't even know that I was gonna actually pull the trigger. But that morning I remember waking up and I was like, if I am confronted with all these emotions and thoughts and beliefs, I can't go back. Like, there is no going back, because how can I continue down this path if I know that it's just not for me? I was doing my usual morning pages from The Artist's Way, and it took me like an hour, because not only was I reflecting on my thoughts and everything, I was actually making concrete plans on what the next steps were gonna look like. And I even looked into all my finances, because my one thing was like, I want to have at least 6 months worth of savings in case, I don't make money or something. And I did. I had 6 months worth of savings, like exactly. And that was another sign, I guess, that it's okay to take a leap. Usually I think through things very, very thoroughly, and maybe for way too long, like way longer than I should, because I'm just constantly weighing out the pros and cons, constantly. And this time, I just didn't want to do that. I think, especially after the breakup that happened back in March, I realized that like life is so short and I can't just think through this perfectly. Like, I just have to go for it sometimes and take a leap and figure things out from there, and really trust myself that no matter what, there's no right or wrong choices. Like, I can just trust myself wherever I go. So yeah, after I told him, I was freaking shaking, and I felt very free but also freaking scared at the same time. So I went on a walk. I walked for a long time, just crying it out. I journaled like a whole page. And the last thing I said, I actually wrote it in Korean, which I do sometimes, like kind of rarely. But yeah, I wrote 서원아 너는 뭐든 할 수 있어, which means Grace, you can do anything. After writing that down, I was like, God, I really need another sign. Like, I'm really scared right now. Like, I know I took the leap and I feel good about it, but honestly, like, fear is really coming at me right now. And as I was leaving Central Park, I picked this note up. And it says at the end, you are capable of anything. So insane. I got chills. That was kind of like the ultimate sign that I needed to feel relieved. And on Friday, I woke up and the state of my room was just bad, because obviously the day before I was just not taking care of myself. I was like, okay, I really need to get my shit together. I can't just stay and rot like this just because I'm scared. So I did everything I could to make myself feel better and more in control. I think that's kind of an important thing for me. So I did everything, like working out, I journaled for a long time, and one action item that I really wanted to focus on was finishing uploading my YouTube video. I can't control the finances, I can't control what's going to happen in the future, but I can control what I put out in the world and what I do, and so I did. And I also started telling my friends, and I called my mom and everything, and I tried to do all the things that would help me feel encouraged. And thankfully I have amazing supportive friends around me, so that was really good. And Sunday, I actually went to church. This is something that I haven't really talked about on my platforms, but long story short, I used to go to church. I grew up in church and I stopped going for a long time, and recently I've been wanting to go back. I've been really wanting to take faith a little bit seriously and more personally, rather than like this is something that I just grew up with. And I've been praying like every day, and I think that's kind of the main reason why I was able to take this leap and also be able to notice all the signs, because I'm in communication with God like every day. So yeah, that was my week. Kind of crazy how this all happened so fast. Today it's actually July 30th, Wednesday. Tomorrow is my official last day. So since that week, I gave them 3 weeks notice. I wanted to be nice, and I also wanted like a week worth of paycheck more. So these past 3 weeks, I feel a lot more level-headed in where I'm going and what my plans are. I feel like I was feeling the highest of highs, but I was also feeling the lowest of lows the first week or two. I still feel the fears here and there, especially when I think about the long-term future, like when it comes to like very adult things like buying a house and I don't know, all that kind of stuff. But I'm really trying to focus on the next 6 months, because seriously, whenever I take a leap, I realize that things work out better than you could ever imagine. Because when you're in this old state and you're trying to go here, you can't imagine how this life is going to look like, because your whole world is here. Your thinking, your vision, your perception, it's all confined to this reality. So obviously you can't know how this reality is going to look, this new reality is going to look like. But when you take a leap, you're completely throwing away this old reality, and you're trusting that this new reality is going to be good. I'm also very grateful and excited. I feel like I've been dreaming of this for so long. I remember in high school I was journaling and I just did my makeup. And I remember one of the things that I wrote on my journal is like, I don't know like why I'm here like on this earth, and I don't know what my life's purpose is, and it's really frustrating because I don't see a purpose. But if I do have a purpose, like I want that to be helping one other person. And to be honest, I feel like I'm doing it. I feel like I'm doing it, and sometimes like the numbers and again like finances and everything really get to me, but at the end of the day, like I am doing what I've dreamt of. I've always wanted to do YouTube, being a content creator. I've always wanted to travel, but now I get to travel without freaking limited PTOs. I actually have negative PTOs right now coming out, so hopefully you don't deduct that from my paycheck. But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for being here with me and supporting me. Like, it's so beautiful how strangers could be so supportive and nice to you. Like, I think that is so pure and beautiful, and I feel so seen, encouraged, and supported by you all. So yeah, I really thank you, and I just don't want to take this for granted at all. So yeah, I need to go in the office now. Today is gonna be my second to last day going in the office, and tomorrow I'm gonna hand in my laptop. It's happening. Bye.